Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to CommentForce number 29. It's a beautiful week to be a Switch owner or a Switch fan. We had a wonderful addition to the library in Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, a wonderful third-party edition at that, a whole lot of news, a Nindies showcase, and now PAX West, where more gameplay is being unveiled. My name is Zach. I've got Jake and Gabe here, and this is our show where we take your questions, your comments, your thoughts, your theories, and your feedback and discuss it all together. A wonderful way for the SwitchForce community and us to interact, engage, and enjoy the wonderful world of Nintendo. Before we get started on the comments, first off, how are we doing, Jake and Gabe?
We are doing good. We are doing very good. We have a little bit of FOMO. Right? Right? A little bit?
A little bit of what?
FOMO. Are you not familiar?
Is this a Texas term, Gabe?
No. This is an internet thing. It's fear of missing out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. little bit of that. We are not at PAX West, and we'll explain why in a brief moment. Have you survived the hurricane, though, Gabe? I guess you survived, unless this has been Gabe.
Well, yeah, this has been Gabe. But yeah, I survived the hurricane with a minimal damage to anything that directly has to do with me. But a lot of people hurting in Texas. So
yeah.
Like it's been rough, just like being from Texas, period, because a lot of crazy stuff is happening. Gas shortages that may or may not be real, but the consequences are very real. People are buying out gas, and I have friends that weren't able to get gas. They didn't have gas for like a couple of days while they restocked. And there's all these crazy type of stuff happening, and obviously it goes without saying, if you can help out the efforts in any way, like there's a lot of organizations that could really use the help. I mean, I'm not going to turn this into like an infomercial or anything, but yeah, being from Texas, being from South Texas, right on the coast actually, so tough week for Texas and me, but it's okay. Everything good.
Yeah, and we're glad that you're safe, Gabe, and definitely our thoughts and prayers go out to all those affected and anyone that continues to be affected as they work to put the pieces back together down there in Texas. Jake, are you okay over there? Any hurricanes in your area?
Nope, just new night amiibos coming my way.
Yeah, that was one of the most interesting announcement videos I've ever seen.
They look really
like,
cool, though.
The amiibo look cool, though, right? Like, we approve of the amiibo?
I definitely think they look good. My strange collection addiction definitely needs them in its belly.
Quick update: do you still own every amiibo ever released?
I'm currently short on some of the player 2s. There's a second Bayonetta, a second Corinne. Yeah, I think I need those two. That I need.
Yeah, but other than that, I guess I don't know if it's like a little known fact around here, but yeah, Zach owns every amiibo ever released.
Yes, I am a collector of things. Joy-Con, amiibo, and also Switch Force Fourth Edgers. And speaking of the Fourth Edge, we have a little bit of a challenge / request for Fourth Edge peoples out there. Basically, we were unable to go to PAX Prime due to a number of circumstances, the major one being other events that we had to attend past
and hurricanes.
Hurricanes, yeah, that kind of limited Gabe from attending, and then past commitments that weren't really able to be shifted around. But we know that there is a ton of cool stuff going on at PAX. So we did want to ask Fourth Edge people out there, if anybody is at PAX Prime today, tomorrow, Monday, PAX West, and is able to get their hands on any of the cool stuff for Switch, Rocket League on Switch, NBA 2K18 on Switch, some of the new Mario Odyssey, any of the cool Nindies that were unveiled, and are able to capture footage or record it with their iPhone or with a camera and want to be a part of our channel, we would love for you to get in touch with us. In the description, we'll put our Twitter account, we'll put our email, and if you want to share that footage with us, we would be happy to shout you out and definitely acknowledge you by name in the video that we make discussing it, just so we have background footage. And then if there's anybody that really goes above and beyond and gets us, something that's really just took a lot of effort, we'll be happy to kind of thank you with some eShop gift cards. So basically, Rocket League, NBA 2K18 are the top priorities. Any of the Nindies, the new stuff that's announced. If you're able to get any good footage of that while you're at PAX, and that's not too much trouble, like I said, happy to shout you out, happy to make you a part of the video and kind of collaborate with the Fourth Edge out there in a way that goes beyond anything we've done before. And again, we wish we were at PAX. We're sorry we're not there. Hopefully we can meet a lot of you at the next event, and hopefully we won't have hurricanes named Harvey and other commitments getting in our way. It just unfortunately became way too difficult to get over there to Seattle. But yeah, more details in the description. If anyone's able to do that and wants to help out, let us know. In the meantime, though, friends and family, let's get to some comments.
We have comments. Forgot about those.
We do have comments. It's a shorter week. Like I said, very busy, a lot going on. So it's going to be a bit of a shorter show, but still a good one. And the first comment comes in from GRV111, otherwise known as Gravy. He says, this will be my first time playing Skyrim. I tried it once at a friend's house on PS3, but never owned it and played through the story, so this is a new game for me. And this sentiment got 67 likes and was echoed by a number of other commenters, and I find it interesting that a lot of times, I think, because I play everything, my thought is, gosh, more ports from ages ago, that's kind of blah. But it seems like, especially from the Nintendo fan base, a lot of people are very excited about these ports because it gives them a chance to play, you know, big AAA franchises on a Nintendo platform for the first time.
Question: Is a AAA franchise that came out 10 years ago still a AAA? Like, is that still a AAA game?
I mean, it's still it. I mean, it's not like BioShock or GTA 3 is no longer AAA just because it's been time. Does it have AAA impact? I mean, TBD, right? We'll see sales, probably not. But I think it still has clout and pull for a lot of people. And I was surprised to see how many were excited for this as opposed to like, meh, it's just an old port.
Like you, I am shocked. Like, people really want this game. There's definitely demand for it. Reddit and Twitter, a lot of people just are really excited to get their hands on it on Switch. And like I said, it's a shock to me, because it's a game that's been out for so long. But like you said, some of these people have never played Skyrim just because they're like Nintendo gamers for the most part. And yeah, I mean, it's a good reason to play Skyrim. I'll probably play through Skyrim this time since I never finished it. I played such a small amount of it at the time. So it's basically a new game for me too. So I second this sentiment.
Yeah, and it is the remastered version. It does have some Nintendo extras. It's got freaking motion control aiming, which worked amazing in Breath of the Wild. So it could still be a very fun time. Plus, just taking a game of that size and scope on the go, I think, is a dream come true for a lot of players, even if they have played before. Bringing a Bethesda type RPG is so freaking cool. So
here's a little prediction. This will be the second game that requires an SD card.
I can definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
All right, Bay Foundation 1 says, I can't wait for CommentForce because I want to see how many people are enjoying Rabbids. I'm personally enjoying it. It's great, and I can't wait to play the rest of it. Plus, wondering if Gabe enjoyed all the toads in the game. Gabe, has your time spent with the Mario Kingdom and all the toads reconciled any of your animosity towards them?
Absolutely not. If anything, I hate them more. They're the tiniest of spoilers, wow. I suppose, even though it's not really a spoiler at all. Toad and Toadette get separated from each other 4 times during the game. It's annoying. You gotta take them back to each other. And honestly, to me, those are the most annoying battles. The escort Toad or Toadette. I don't like those. Toads, you guys are on watch. I don't like you even more if that was at all possible.
Yikes, Gabe! I really feel that you need to do some therapy to really mend this bond, and I feel like it's going to be imperative as the Switch life cycle goes on that you don't develop more and more animosity, because toads are going to be featured in a lot of games, and I don't know, I don't want this to be a lasting grudge. I feel like we need to nip it in the butt. I'm going to start looking for counselors.
Can you not see how they're annoying? They get lost and you got to take them back to Toadette. Toad, why are you lost all the time? Why?
They provide so much love and support and manual labor.
I don't know, man. Toad, I still don't rock with you guys. I'm sorry. Aiden Ratnage, or is that how you pronounce that? Ratnage?
Yeah, I think.
Ratnage? I don't know. I don't like XCOM, but I do like Fire Emblem. Would I like this? Yeah. I mean, that's another game that is probably another apt comparison. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is very Fire Emblem-y in some ways, I think.
I think so. I mean, XCOM, Fire Emblem, the crux of all three of these titles, Mario plus Rabbids being the third, is turn-based strategy, right? And moving your characters around a map. I'm guessing you don't like XCOM because it has more 3D elements, and that to me that's the biggest difference, is that there's more like, putting a guy into cover, and putting this person into Overwatch, and dealing with the base and expanding all those systems and researching all that. So that would be my guess. I mean, Mario plus Rabbids does have cover, but it's simpler, and there definitely is no complex base, researching or any of that thing. There is no permadeath, if that's something you like about Fire Emblem. There is a solid, cool story, and maybe it's not so much amazing writing as it is like cameos and just different interesting occurrences between the two worlds of Rabbids and Nintendo. So I feel like, unless there's something I'm missing of why you don't like XCOM, I feel like this kind of sits between the two, maybe ish.
Yeah, I mean, Fire Emblem and XCOM both have permadeath. So Mario plus Rabbids does not have that. I really want Mario plus Rabbids to succeed. I think it's like legitimately awesome, and it's like sitting like at 85 right now at Metacritic, something like that, mid 80s. It's doing well critically. If that translates to sales, I think that is like huge for the Switch, because it shows Nintendo that lending out their franchises to other developers can be successful, and they can maybe break the mold a little bit more often and give us cool experiences like this. I love the game.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a winner. Let's see. Splish says, dang, NBA 2K18 on Switch features the same features as the PlayStation 4 version, plus amiibo functionality and portability. I'm not going to buy this game, but that's pretty good for anyone who does. And I thought this was interesting for two reasons. One, yes, not the same graphical fidelity, but same features is awesome, and definitely a good sign for the future of third parties on Switch. The thing I think is interesting, though, is like, hey, I think this is really cool, but I'm not going to buy this. And we've had this conversation before about like, hey, supporting third parties to get more third parties. And I'm not saying people should go out and spend money just to spend money. I just wonder the fact that it's two sports titles, if that's going to be a weird kind of thing for sales.
Well, yeah, that's the hard part with this game in particular. Like, it's hard to sell someone on a basketball game when they don't necessarily mess with basketball at all. Like, if you don't watch the NBA and you're like not a fan of the sport, convincing you to buy this just so that other third parties can come to the Switch is not an easy thing to do. It's $60.
What if they come out with a LeBron
right.
James amiibo?
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm guessing the amiibo is going to unlock like maybe some like shoes or.
What if they did mascot amiibos?
I wonder if they did put in some like custom interesting thing like that, because there's no way it's like, there's going to be a mode where you freaking play as like Mario or Luigi, right? That's not a thing.
Maybe one of like the outdoor parks is like, has like Mario painted in the middle of it or something like that, like a branded park,
a Mushroom Kingdom park in the neighborhood.
Yeah, something like that. But 2 out of 3 of us are like really excited for this game actually. Zach and I both, we watch the NBA and we're fans of the sport, so this will be good for us. I just wish it was easier to convince people that don't play the game to buy it, but that's up to
I mean, and still, FIFA and NBA are two massive franchises. They sell tons of copies every year. I think, we've talked the past couple weeks about not labeling the Switch or the Switch base, the user base, but I feel like maybe they don't mesh well with the typical Nintendo fan. But I feel like enough people will give this a try. Maybe not Splish here, but enough people like, wow, it does look really good. Wow, it is cool to take it portable. It's got the same features. Like, I think we could see this end up being more of a converting opportunity than maybe we think.
I hope so.
Ethan Hetler says, okay, Switch Force, I love you guys, but Morphe's Law looks amazing, and the Switch Force community thinks so too. You said the game looks too different and might go too far.
Might not go far.
Well, okay, it might go too far in its gameplay, and it might not go far because of it. Well, in Splatoon, you are a kid and a squid, and you shoot ink at each other to fill a map that is super different, and it did great, and it is a great game, so you can't say that different games won't do good, because shooters these days are mostly the same thing, and we need to start switching, LOL, it up. I don't have a problem with the gameplay of Morphe's Law. I think that looks cool. I wasn't on the wrap-up discussion with you guys, but I think that it's an interesting idea, and I think it's interesting how, like, then your size kind of balances out. The size, the more well you're doing in the game, the bigger target you become. I think that's interesting. But I really just don't like the way that the Morphys look and like the Day of the Dead kind of aesthetic mixed with like weird droids from the movies, robots, and it kind of creeps me out.
Well, the problem with the game for me isn't so much that it's different. It's that it's like very generic looking, actually. Like, yes, like, you know, the weird shapes of the characters, like, yeah, that's different. I get it. But shooter wise, it looks generic as all heck. So, like, it's not. I play a lot of shooters. I play on PC primarily, and you know, you mentioned this, Zach, before. I don't know if it was on a video or just offhand. Like, Lawbreakers is a very good shooter that no one is playing, and that game is like looks good and it plays like really really good. And you know, Morphe's Law does not look good, like at all. Like it looks
to us, I guess.
Yeah, I'm speaking for me. I can't speak for everybody in the world. When I speak for Gabe, and has been Gabe when he's around.
Yes.
Yeah, like it doesn't like look as good to me, so that's why I'm not excited for it. But I will say this: if I don't know how you came to this conclusion, but if the Switch Force community thinks it looks cool, then awesome. You know, I'm sure that we're gonna give it a try and we'll play with you guys, and if we like it, we'll play more of it. I'm totally open to having my mind changed, like on these things.
For sure. I was a little surprised to see all the love, and I went through all the comments on our Nindies showcase wrap-up, and a lot of the games that we thought weren't that interesting, like Morphe's Law and Wolverblade, were actually quite... There was quite a bit of enthusiasm for, so it was interesting, and I think at the same time, that's really great that there is a lot of different games that appeal to a lot of different audiences, because it's not doing the pigeonhole thing. It's not all just 2D platformers or all minigame collections. There is a variety, and I will give Morphe's Law that. The fact that it's trying to do a unique online shooter, and I don't think it'll be anywhere near as successful as Splatoon. Splatoon is kind of just like magic in a bottle, but it is cool to see Nintendo attracting games and developers that are up to cool things. So I will give them that, and we will try most, if not all of these. So look for final impressions eventually.
Can I give one more example?
Sure.
Of a shooter that like has a unique look and has something unique going for it, but then just didn't perform super well. Drawn to Death on PlayStation 4. That's what I equate this game to. To me, that's the level it's at. And I like playing Drawn to Death a little bit, but it's hard. It's just hard for multiplayer games sometimes. But yeah, best of luck to the game though. Morphe's Law. I'm glad you're into it, Ethan. We'll definitely be giving it a shot. Meanwhile, Alexander Worley says, the $40 price tag scares me. It either means that they're worried that people won't buy it because of the past 3D Sonic games, or that the game is really bad. This is reference. I'm sorry, reference to Sonic Forces.
Yes, and I think it's an interesting discussion. In fact, right before we got on the air, we were talking about how Knack 2, the upcoming PS4 exclusive, is also $40, and the recent Uncharted Lost Legacy was $40, and we've seen a lot of experimentation with price. It's a weird time for price. We have not had an increase in game price for over a decade.
I don't think we're getting one. It doesn't seem like we're getting one.
Yeah, and you can feel how you want to feel about that. We're not going to have that discussion here. I don't know. Uncharted Lost Legacy is one of my favorite games of the year. Knack 2 seems to be super polished. I don't know that $40 instantly means it's doomed. I do think it's a unique choice for a fall release, but at the same time, it speaks to maybe how well Sonic Mania sold at $20, and they're going to undercut some of the competition in order to take a character that has been through a tumultuous history and try to put it in front of people at a more attractive price point.
Do you remember the rumor that Mario Plus Rabbids is going to be $40?
Yes.
Imagine that game coming out at $40 and reviewing as well as it did. Like, that would have been crazy. Because, I mean, you're right, Alexander. Like, you think a $40 price tag, you're like, oh, this game is bad. It's a budget title. Like, I understand the apprehension. It's just, at this point, go ahead.
I was just saying, how much is it like? For your wallet, it's fantastic, but how much is it like a psychological disadvantage? Like, you see it and you see like Captain Toad or something that's like $40, or this game, and you're like, this game it's not a full game maybe because it's cheaper than a full $60 game.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is at this point, and maybe shame on me, right, for this, but Sonic Team and Sega have they have bought a little bit of goodwill from me with Sonic Mania. Like, the game's fun. Like, people really, really liked it. Like, by all accounts, Sonic Mania was a success and continues to be one. So, you know, we live in this era where, you know, everybody's memory is like so short term. You know, it's what have you done for me lately? And lately, Sega has given you a really good Sonic game that you really liked. So maybe trust them. Like, they made a conscious effort. Like, they put out like statements saying, hey, we really want to fix the Sonic franchise, and this is what we're doing this year. Like, they did this like last year or at the beginning of the year when they first announced that Mania and Forces were both coming, and you know, by that point there was the Sonic Boom like cartoon and stuff that was like a little bit weird, but they've done good so far with Sonic this year. So for now, at least, they have my $40, and you know, we'll see how the game turns out. Like I said, shame on me if it doesn't go well, but we'll see.
Yeah, and it is $40 across platforms, so this isn't, you know, I mean, hey, it's better than a Switch tax. It's better than it being, you know, 60 on Switch. I don't read too much into it. I think the game could go either way. I think they need to be aggressive if they want to get it out there, just because there is sort of that like worry, like, oh god, this 3D Sonic game, you know.
What if it's just shorter, and that's the reason why? Like, I hope that's the reason. Like, it's just not as long.
And I also kind of hope that maybe this is the year that the $40 price takes on new meaning. And instead of being looked at negatively, maybe with Knack 2 and Uncharted Lost Legacy and Sonic Forces, maybe it's like, hey, this is a great way to get your game if you don't want to try and compete with, you know, the Maddens and the Call of Duties and the Assassin's Creeds and the Mario Odysseys and the Zeldas. Like, maybe this is a way to say, hey, we have a great game. We just want to come in at an attractive price point to pull some of your attention. And I don't know, like, games are in a strange place. They cost more than ever to make, and while there is a bigger audience than ever, the fact that they haven't increased in price is weird and, you know, pretty much silly. So a $40 game, I don't know. I'm gonna look on the bright side and be excited by that and say, man, this game should probably be $70, and instead it's $40. So let's roll with that. Rune Hawkins, commenting on our last comment for us about a 2D Mario Galaxy, says, if they did make a 2D Mario Galaxy, they'd have to make it special. I don't want another Hey Pikmin. They cannot do that to one of the first Mario games I've ever played. Please. I'm not saying that 2D games would make a game bad. The new Metroid looks really good. I'm simply saying that I just wouldn't want them to tarnish Mario Galaxy. I think absolutely, if Nintendo were ever to do something like this, I feel like they would go out of their way to take the unique elements from Mario Galaxy and implement them. I think Hey Pikmin, first off, is not developed in-house, and second of all, is a not great example. In many cases, taking 3D franchises to the 3DS or the DS has worked really well. And I know Hey Pikmin is just like the recent taste in our mouth. But yeah, I don't think Nintendo has any desire to ruin Mario.
And I don't think
with Mario.
We have nothing to worry about here because there's no way a 2D Mario Galaxy. Like, this is just a non-issue.
Yeah, prob's not happening. So yes, nothing to fear, our dear friend Rune. But there were a lot of people that were very like, please don't ruin Mario Galaxy. It's one of our favorite Marios and one of the greatest things ever. Don't tarnish it. But hey,
it's not getting touched, I think.
No, but they did, let's look at this. They did take a risk with Zelda, paid off. They took a risk with Mario plus Rabbids, paid off. They're taking a smaller risk, but a risk with Mario Odyssey. We'll see if that pays off. So risks aren't always a bad thing.
Unless you're Star Fox.
Unicorn Lemon Gaming says, I just want the theme shop, which would be...
He said, I just want... Is that what he said?
Uh-huh.
I just want the theme shop. Is that your Domo voice for him?
I too want themes on the eShop. That would be fantastic. I'm tired of my Switch just being all black. Like, I mean, I suppose I could change it to the white to the regular one instead of the night theme. But
right.
Yeah, no, I want some cool stuff back there.
Yeah, I'm surprised this happened. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm not surprised. It should happen. Will it happen? I don't know. I think maybe this gets introduced around the online service next year.
Maybe. Give us this and give us preloading, please.
Ooh, preloading would be good.
Especially because, 2K is like pretty big, so that tend to take a little while to download. Metroid, Samus Returns is available for preload right now on 3DS. So if you can do it on 3DS, you can do it on Switch.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so Dylan Horton says, I'm not a floor kid. Every time I see that term, I just have to laugh. But I'm open to trying new things.
Floor Kids is definitely one of the new like amazing meme games that's going to go down in Nintendo history as like a very critical and crucial title.
Let me tell you something funny. Well, it was funny to me. I don't think it's going to be that funny to you guys. I was
Wonderful.
I was watching the Nindies at Night live stream. I forget on what Twitch channel it was. It wasn't an official Nintendo thing. It was a separate thing. And they were interviewing the guy behind the music of Floor Kids. He has a name. He has like a
John.
No,
DJ Koala.
Both of them actually. Those were the two guys, John and DJ Koala.
Hey.
And I forgot which one it was. I don't know which one said this, right? But they were explaining how you play the game, and he said, "Oh, you just press those buttons up there. What are those buttons called?" And they were referring to the bumpers. They're like, "Oh, I just called those triggers." And then like the lady, the girl that was conducting the interview, she's like, "No, those back there are the triggers." She's like, "No, I call those the triggers too." So like, just that they don't know what the buttons are on the Switch was hilarious to me. And they made it very clear. They're like, "Hey, the guy's like, hey, I just did the music. I don't know. Like we're just like, I did the music.
They're Floor Kids, Gabe.
I did the art. I did the music. I had nothing to do with developing."
They're very busy practicing their moves and coming up with their new swag. They don't have time for all of these video game terms. Come on.
Yeah, obviously. But
Benjamin Neff says, taking things in a totally different direction, when do you think the next DK game will come out? Adding on to that, would you rather have a full 3D Donkey Kong or a 4-player co-op platformer starring the Kongs, kind of like New Super Mario Bros?
I think it comes out not next year, the year after. And,
okay.
And I hope it's a full 3D one, because we've had a couple 2D ones in a row now. Tropical Freeze and Country Returns. It's time to go back to 3D. Maybe bring back the conga.
Donkey Konga?
The bongos.
The drums?
Sorry. Yeah, bongos.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. The bongos.
Why would you say
I don't
that?
really...
Bring
Why do
them
we want
back.
the bongos?
I think they're giving Ubisoft DK. They're like, here, you did good with Mario Rabbids, now you can have DK.
Oh, yikes.
And it's going to be...
Why is that yikes?
Donkey Kong plus Just Dance Kingdom Battle.
No.
And you're going to use
God.
bongos.
I think that Ubisoft could do something really cool with Donkey Kong.
Ubisoft could do really cool with a lot of stuff. I trust them now. Not that I didn't trust them before. I mean, whatever. But, man, Rabbids is cool. That's all I'll keep going back to. Next Donkey Kong game, Zach. You're a big Donkey
Zach,
Kong
what if
fan.
Ubisoft takes it and makes like the Kremling like builder that we were talking about before, like RTS with Kremlings?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be fantastic. But I'm of two minds here. I think Zelda has gone really open. Mario's going really open. I would love to see a almost like UbiArts style DK Donkey Kong Country game. And being able to take that portably. Returns and Tropical Freeze were phenomenal. I love those. So keeping it in that fashion, like especially if we're not going to get a new Super Mario Bros. Or something of that sort for a while, I think that could be a really nice fit for DK. And I'd love, if you remember some of the stages, specifically in Tropical Freeze, where they did kind of like the cutout, almost like shadow box, light box look.
Yeah.
That stuff is gorgeous.
That black and red level, that was very pretty.
Yeah, so doing like a very artsy, animated DK game would be super awesome. At the same time, 3D would be good. I just don't. A collectathon isn't going to really do much for me, so maybe you do...
What if it's not a collectathon? What if it's like Breath of the Wild? Like, you have this, like, giant world. You can go climb trees. I don't know.
Yeah, and maybe... I don't know. I just think that maybe Nintendo utilizes DK as sort of their, like, hardcore, true to the old school... what do you call it? Like, platformer. I think that could be... really cool. And yeah, so I'm just going to cement myself there. I would love to see a stylized and very animated Donkey Kong type game, or do like, instead of level by level, make it a little bit more open, almost like a crossover between Metroid and DK.
You want a Donkey Kong Metroidvania?
Well, like he gets different animals that help him out with different areas. I don't know. I think that could be really cool. Like almost like a Shadow Complex. And again, like I would love Nintendo to start doing mid-tier titles themselves. Do things that are, a $30 download. Do things that are more akin to Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, or Uncharted Lost Legacy. It doesn't have to be a full-on tentpole release. Personally, I hope we see DK in 2018 paired with Metroid, but I think, Gabe, at 2019 is probably more of a...
Yeah, I mean, because we have confirmation of Kirby and Yoshi coming next year, so...
I want Donkey Kong Canopy Cannons, a tower defense game.
Oh, gosh.
That'd be amazing.
You just want to play these games on your phone.
No, Gabe,
I'll take it. I'll take whatever you give me.
All right. Jacob Lancaster says, I can 100% guarantee that Jake is floor boy.
Jake is a...
Not
Jake,
a floor boy, just is floor boy.
Is that the name of one of the floor kids?
I think I'm just the mascot. I am the floor boy.
Hey, I can't deny it.
I'm not going to comment on it because it could be true.
Yeah, we don't have proof that it isn't true. So let's just move on to Slingo the Cat. Says multimedia apps do matter. The ability to watch videos on my TV, then take the Switch out of the dock to grab snacks without stopping the video is a necessity. Okay. Like, I'm never going to budge on this. Like, I don't
really
care.
came around to this. Reading through the comments, I really came around to understanding that I think the fact, I don't know, for me, I'll speak for me personally. I own so many devices and so many pieces of tech that I think I'm jaded to the fact that everything I own has multimedia apps. But if that's not your lifestyle, I can see how wanting the Switch to be more of a jack of all trades so you don't have to have a second thing that you either have to purchase or just bring along with you. I can see how that's appealing. And the idea, a lot of people said they don't even want it to be portably. They want it for their TV, and they want to be able to dock it and utilize that as their multimedia machine. I can see the appeal of that. And then some people said it has a bigger screen than their phone by far. They don't want to invest in a more expensive phone. And so having that be a Netflix player for airplanes or car rides is really important. So I'm now team multimedia apps. Make it happen, Reggie. Let's go. Holiday 2017.
I hope it happens for the people that want it to happen, but Gabe just doesn't care because Gabe will not use it. But, that's just me.
It could
By all
be kind of
means.
cool to, like, download a Netflix show or movie and be able to, like, seamlessly click, like, while you're on an airplane, like, be playing Mario Odyssey and then quickly switch to, like, the movie and watch that for a while. I don't know. I mean, it's not a necessity to me, but I can see how it'd be just kind of streamline things and make it all...
Then I just worry about the battery life of the Switch. But, whatever.
They're going to come out with the Switch 2.0. It's just fatter and has more battery.
And it has Netflix on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody did make a good point. I'm sorry I cut you off there. Somebody did say, like, I guess parents are starting to consider Christmas shopping this early. I forgot what I was streaming. I was streaming something on SwitchForce. And somebody said, hey, my mom was going to buy me a Switch. She asked me what I wanted, a Switch or an iPad, and then she found out that there's no Netflix on the Switch. So she said she's going to get me the iPad instead. So, like, I guess, like, people care. I mean, that's obvious. And for younger people, I think this would be a great thing. So, just sorry to whoever that was that isn't getting a Switch and isn't getting an iPad. I feel like iPads are antiquated at this point, but another topic altogether.
Sean F., talking about Mario plus Rabbids, says the game doesn't look bad, but it's not worth $50. Well, it's $60. And this was
that's not worth $50. It's worth $60. Yeah.
This was a weird kind of theory or idea that was being spread across a number of the Rabbids videos this week, and I'm just not quite sure. I don't know if it's because it's not developed by Nintendo, if it's still the idea that it has 4 worlds, if it's the fact that it's a strategy game, but this is definitely a full game, and there are many games on the market that have far less content for $60. And I think this is a dangerous conversation to have because we are in an era when service-based games and open-world, giant quest-based titles are kind of taking over, and they are doing so because they have so much content. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the content is quality content, but they have so much of it. And we're seeing the slow but sure extinction of tried and true single player games, and I don't want to see that happen. And so I think that saying that Mario plus Rabbids isn't worth $60 because it doesn't have online multiplayer, it doesn't have a bajillion challenges, is a dangerous thing to say. I think this game is fully worth $60. There are plenty of games out there that have 6-hour single-player campaigns, that have 8-hour single-player campaigns, that are some of the best games on the market. And Mario plus Rabbids brings in co-op, it brings in replayability, it brings in a really cool campaign, and it brings in a unique idea and a unique fusion of franchises.
And they already announced
it
has a season pass that's going to have some more DLC that you can play.
Thank you for bringing that up. Can I make a PSA on the season pass?
Yes.
All right, look, guys. If you played like the first like hour of the game and you like it, and you think, hey, I want the season pass, buy it ASAP, because once you beat the game, there is zero incentive to use those weapons because they're not like the strongest weapons in the game. Like so you're gonna want to have those early in the game. If you think the season pass is something you're interested in and you're still early on in the game, buy them because the weapons do look like cool, but if you buy the season pass after you beat the game, they're a little bit worthless unless you start a brand new save file. So yeah, that's the one thing I wanted to mention on that.
Tips from Gabe.
Yes.
Pro Rabbids tips from Gabe. Thanks, Gabe. We really appreciate that. And I really appreciate Mario Plus Rabbids. I hope the sales reflect that. We don't have any numbers yet, but for everyone's sake, it's really going to be good if this game sells well. It'll help encourage Ubisoft to put more of their properties on Switch, and it will be good for third parties in general. And, from my standpoint, this is a game that absolutely deserves to have success.
For sure. I agree.
So that is our final comment of the day. Wraps up still a pretty sizable comment for us. We always get in here and get into the nitty-gritty of all of your awesome comments. Thank you so much, guys and girls, for being a part of the channel and for being a part of this community. And once again, if anybody out there from the Fourth Edge is at PAX Prime, PAX West, and wants to help us out, wants to be a part of that, let us know. Email down in the description, Twitter down in the description, get in touch with us, and we'll definitely give you guys the credit that you've earned. So thank you so much. It's a little bit of a slower week given the fact that Rabbids just came out, given the fact that we had all those indie announcements, probably going to be a while before another Direct, and we'll have some eShop stuff, and we'll continue our Rabbids coverage. And it seems like I think the next Switch title of stature is Rayman Legends Definitive Edition on September 12th. So we'll turn our eyes towards that.
Steam World Dig also coming. Pokken. Like September's a decent month.
Yeah, September stuff. Golf Story. I'm all about that Golf Story, Gabe.
Yes, I'm excited for that. You've made me excited for that.
Yeah, Gabe, I want to go golfing with you in real life, so let's get that scheduled.
Yeah, that's it.
And we'll see you guys on CommentForce 30. Until that time, have a fantastic week, everybody. Thanks so much. Keep your comments, questions, concerns, themes, theories, feedback, and alliteration is always appreciated, just like you. Thanks so much, everybody. For myself, Jake, and Gabe, Switch Force out.